The crowd murmured in restless excitement as the bright lights of Asia's Got Talent illuminated the massive stage. 3 judges sat in their seats, papers neatly stacked before them, and cameras panned over hundreds of hopeful faces in the audience. Among them, a small thin boy stood quietly behind the curtain barefoot, his hands trembling slightly as he clutched a microphone too big for his tiny palms. His name was Rafael Cruz, a 13-year-old boy from the slums of Manila. His t-shirt was faded, and a little torn at the sleeve, but his eyes were filled with something rare, hope mixed with fear, and a kind of quiet determination that only those who have suffered deeply carry inside. As the stage manager called, "Next contestant, Rafael Cruz," he swallowed hard, and stepped into the blinding spotlight. Rafael blinked as the lights hit him. The audience grew quiet. One of the judges, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes, leaned forward and said, "Hello, sweetheart. What's your name?" He took a breath. "My name is Rafael," he said softly. His English was broken but sincere. "And how old are you, Rafael?" 13, ma'am." "Where are you from?" "I'm from Tondo, Manila." The audience murmured. Tondo, everyone knew it. One of the poorest areas in the Philippines. The kind of place where dreams were often traded for survival. "What will you be singing today?" the judge asked gently. Rafael looked down at his bare feet, then back up with a shy smile. "Hotel California by Eagles." The crowd gasped lightly. A classic rock song. Complicated. Not an easy choice for a boy his age. The judges exchanged curious looks. "All right, Rafael," the host said softly. "Whenever you're ready." The first notes played from a simple backing track. For a few seconds, Rafael hesitated. Then he closed his eyes, and when he began to sing, the world seemed to stop. "On the dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair." His voice was soft at first, fragile, like glass, but rich, textured, and full of emotion. Every note carried the weight of a life lived in struggle, of nights spent under tin roofs, when rainwater leaked through, or mornings where hunger was just another part of the day. The judges leaned forward. By the time he reached the chorus, his voice had grown powerful, aching, and free. The crowd was stunned silent. People who moments earlier were whispering now stared, eyes wide, as the little barefoot boy sang like a soul far older than his years. "Welcome to the Hotel California." One of the judges, the toughest one, known for her bluntness, covered her mouth. Her eyes shimmered. The camera zoomed in as a tear slipped down her cheek. Rafael didn't see it. His eyes were closed, lost in the music. For him, this wasn't just a song. It was a story, a reflection of his own life. He remembered his mother's laughter, before she got sick. The way she'd hum lullabies when there was no food, pretending everything was fine. He remembered holding her hand in a crowded charity ward, promising he'd take care of his younger sister, Maya, no matter what happened. She had smiled weakly and whispered, "Never stop singing, Enoch. Your voice will change everything." She passed away 2 days later, and now, standing on this stage, he was singing for her. When the song reached its instrumental break, Rafael stepped back, and the lights dimmed to a single golden beam around him. The audience began to sway. Some people held up their phones, lights glowing like stars. Then came the final verse. His voice cracked once, but instead of weakness, it carried raw, trembling humanity. "You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave." As the last note faded, the silence that followed was thunderous. For one heartbeat, no one moved. Then, the entire theater erupted a standing ovation. The judges rose to their feet. The woman who had been crying wiped her eyes. "Rafael," she began, voice trembling, "you just took one of the greatest songs ever written, and made it your own." Another judge, known for his strict critiques, leaned toward his microphone. "I've heard that song 100 times, but never like this. You sang it like it meant something, like it was your story." Rafael's lip quivered. He looked out into the sea of faces, overwhelmed. For a moment, he wasn't the boy from Tondo. He was a star. Then, the kind judge smiled through tears, looked down at her golden button, and slammed her palm on the golden buzzer. Gold confetti burst from above like a shimmering rain. Rafael gasped as the crowd screamed, cheering, clapping, shouting his name. He fell to his knees, sobbing uncontrollably. The judges ran up and embraced him. "You made everyone here feel something real today," the judge whispered. "Your mother would be so proud." Through tears, he nodded. "I sang for her," he whispered back. "For Mama and for my sister." In the days that followed, Rafael's performance went viral. Millions watched the video. Comments poured in from around the world. "That boy's voice is heaven. I cried like a baby. He reminded me of why music exists." Television shows invited him for interviews. Sponsors offered support. Donations flooded in to help his family. A video clip showed him walking back into his neighborhood weeks later, his little sister, Maya, running barefoot to greet him. He lifted her into his arms, spinning her as the sun set behind them. With tears in his eyes, he looked at their tiny home, patched with metal sheets and cardboard, and whispered, "We're going to make it, Mama." I kept my promise. Months later, during the grand finals, Raphael sang again, this time, barefoot still, but with confidence glowing in his eyes. He didn't win the show, but it didn't matter. His life had already changed forever. He started a small foundation in his mother's name, to provide free music lessons to poor children in Manila. He called it the Golden Voice Project. Years later, when a journalist asked him what the Hotel California moment meant to him, Raphael smiled softly and said, "That night wasn't just about me singing. It was about every kid who dreams of more than poverty. My mother told me music can heal. And that night, it healed me, and maybe